Hello again, and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is Jesse, aka BGFH, and I am back for another kind of a revisiting of an app, actually. A while back on the channel, maybe about a year or so ago, I took a look at an app called Envision AI, and it's kind of I would say, a competitor to something like Seeing AI. It's kind of a blindness multi-tool type of thing. Recognizes text and colors and faces and all kinds of other stuff. And so, at the time, I really kind of had mixed feelings on it. There were just some things that was like, well, you had a trial, there was a subscription period, or there was a subscription fee, and I'm just like, well, at the time I was kind of thinking, what does this offer for a subscription that I couldn't do with other apps like Seeing AI or KNFB Reader, that kind of a thing. Well, they've definitely updated their app, and I also wanted to do it around this time frame because they are currently having a summer sale. And it is going on, if I recall correctly, I believe until the end of August. So I'm going to get this up for Saturday's video. I don't know. I mean, I might even do a bonus video just so that people have a little bit more time. I haven't fully decided, but it's either going to go up before Saturday or as Saturday's video. But they have a summer sale that you can take part in. They have a monthly subscription, yearly subscription, or what I think is by far the best deal if you're going to look into this app is their lifetime subscription. Now, they had this before, but it was actually like $200 US dollars. It was $200. And like I said, I'm like, well, rather than paying a monthly fee, I would rather just do a lifetime thing. But, I thought, well, that's kind of high. I mean, if that was the only thing out, sure. But, all these other apps that I've covered on the channel, at the time I just wasn't really sure. But we're going to revisit this app. I'm going to show you kind of how it's been updated. And I was playing with it a bit earlier at work today. And even, actually, it's funny, even since I was working with the app earlier today, they released an update with some fixes and stuff in it. So maybe I'll even notice a couple other minor enhancements or changes. So let's dive right in here. We have Envision AI.
Double tap to open. Start reading instantly button.
So we got our camera interface. Now, I don't remember if this was here last time or not. Like I said, I didn't go back and look at my video. But let me just look at the screen so you can kind of see better contrast here.
Magnifier button.
In the upper left-hand corner, there's a button that says Magnifier. So, yeah, they basically put in kind of a CCTV type functionality, a very basic CCTV functionality, where you can zoom into an image, and we're going to take a look at that momentarily. And then on the bottom, the whole screen is your viewfinder, basically. But on the bottom, you have some tabs across the bottom.
Selected text tab 1 of 4.
We've got a text tab.
General tab 2 of 4.
General.
Scan and find tab
Scan and
3
find.
of 4. Help tab 4
and
of 4.
a help tab. And now, when you go to each one of these, like for instance, the text tab, which is what we're on now, you can
start reading instantly button.
Just above that, you've got usually 3 buttons, and they will change contextually based on whatever it is, whatever bottom tab you have selected.
Start reading instantly
so
button.
Read instantly,
read document button,
read document,
more actions button,
and more actions.
Tap this
so
button to read multiple
we'll get
pages,
to that stuff
import to PDF file or an image.
But I first want to do a little bit with the magnifier, and so I'm going
magnifier
to
button. Magnifier button. Magnifier.
Magnifier
0%
here.
adjustable.
When I double tap on that, if I have voiceover on, I have a slider.
0% at 10%, 20, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%, 100%.
100%. Boom.
100%.
Let's see how big we can get this. So I'm going to take a look at this paper. That's pretty big. That's pretty darn big for a regular print. I have it in... Okay, yeah, I turned my phone sideways, so okay, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this because that way you'll see. I just instinctively turn it sideways for landscape, so I have more. I can read it easier, and that that's not too bad actually. It gets pretty big. I do wish it would go maybe. I would say to maybe compare it to the built-in iOS magnifier feature that you can add to your control center or get to under general accessibility. You can get that text to be ginormous. And believe it or not, sometimes that is actually really helpful because as earlier today, for instance, I was actually looking at a serial number on the bottom of a laptop, and that text was bad contrast and it was super, super tiny. So being able to use the built-in magnifier app and just zoom the heck out of that thing. Let me
Envision.
see if my video will go screwy if I
Closing
do
blindness
this. So
folder.
let me
Control
open
center.
up the
Airplane mode. Switch button. Magnifier. Button.
magnifier.
Magnifier.
Hopefully my video doesn't get too grumpy
Magnifier.
here.
Magnification view. 15.0x. Adjustable.
Oh,
Slide up and down to zoom in and out. Double tap to focus at that point. Triple tap to revert to automatic focus.
I
Swipe
don't
up
think
or
it
down with
likes
one finger
my
to adjust the
mirroring.
value. Blindness full.
I don't
App switcher.
think...
Envision. Active. Envision. Active. Blindness
No, what I
folder.
could do is I
21
could try
apps.
turning
Voiceover off.
off. No, it does not like to mirror. Crap, I was going to do that comparison for you. But again, I know the developers watched my previous video, and thank you for that, by the way. And they actually replied with some, very helpful comments. So again, thank you. I'm glad I was able to help. I wasn't trying to be too harsh last time, but I just wanted to give kind of my honest thoughts. Let's go back into Envision. And so, yeah, like I said, I can get this pretty big, but, especially if I'm looking at, like, this is pretty normal, pretty large text. If I'm looking at, like, some serial numbers and stuff, I would like it to be a little bigger. And in the upper right-hand corner, I can hit the button here. There we go. Inverted, which is a fantastic thing to have because a lot of people do like to have inverted color, myself included, having a dark background. What I will say, though, is it would be great to have... The contrast on this is actually not too great. Like, the text is okay. I mean, it's clear enough, kind of, but it would be really nice to have a nice hard black background, or closer to a harder black background, because right now it looks kind of washed out. You can have just more of a straight up gray. And I've tried this in different, like, really bright lighting situations too. So that would be a couple suggestions that I would have. And like I said, I love kind of the multi-tool nature of this. And one thing that I was also sort of thinking is, if you, just like you have the tabs across the bottom, if you have the magnifier, if you tap on and you turn on the magnifier controls, or maybe the magnifier is, wherever it is, these three buttons could do things like maybe the left button could go between some really common, like, take your portable CCTV, take like a Ruby, take like, other little, any CCTV that you find on the market. I just want to see if this actually, look at this magnifier here. Ooh. Okay, there's my business card. Ha ha. But taking that left button and maybe having that to be, boom, switch immediately back to full color. The middle button could cycle between several colored backgrounds with black text or dark text. So you could have yellow background with black text, white background with blue text, or, any number of things. And then the far right one could be just the opposite. You could have the same colors. You could have white on black, yellow on black, yellow on blue, That's a common one. You know, and that kind of a thing. So your left button there of the 3 could turn you instantly back to full color. Your middle one could be a bunch of light backgrounds and dark text. The right button could be just the opposite, dark background with light text. And if we were able to sharpen this, if we were able to sharpen up this image, you know, make that nice, make that contrast pop. I mean, the response rate is really good. I can move it around. It doesn't blur. It doesn't flicker. So, you know, if we could kind of make it a little bit bigger, if we could make the contrast a little bit better, and maybe add a few more color options via these big 3 buttons on the bottom, and even maybe have like a show and hide control. So once I get everything dialed in, I want my whole screen to be the viewfinder. Let's hide all of these controls. I could either do it via a little button in the corner, or I could, you know, do like a, I don't know, like a 2-finger single tap on the screen to be like, hey, make the interface go away, and then make it come back. You know, it could just be a really neat magnifier option, because even the Apple one, the Apple built-in magnifier, does not switch, or you cannot switch the actual interface off. To the best of my knowledge, there's no way to do that. So I'm still looking for a, you know, I mean, the built-in magnifier is great. I use it all the time, but to have like these nice big 3 buttons here that would work that way, to be able to turn the flash on and off, make sure those contrast modes really pop, you know, keeping the refresh rate, it's a great start. And if some of these things could be kind of beefed up, you know, it would be a great, I think it would be a, you know, an even better low vision tool, in addition to all of its blindness features, which we are going to get into right now. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to turn my magnifier feature off.
Voiceover on. Envision. Magnifier.
And we got
button,
our
portrait.
voiceover back on. So as I was saying earlier, we have
Selected.
Text.
Tab. 1 of. Start reading instantly. Button.
and I'm going to say start reading instantly. Now the first time you do that, oh, you know what I didn't do? Let me,
Magnifier. Button. Magnifier. 100%. 980. 6
let's
40
turn
30
this
20 10 0
all the way
0
down,
percent.
because we
Magnifier.
want
Button.
a real-time view. I forgot
Magnifier
when you
button.
turn the
Magnifier.
magnifier feature off. Yeah, and just thinking, when you turn that magnifier feature off, it still keeps it zoomed in. But I could now, when you first do one of these
Start reading
buttons,
instantly. Button.
the start reading instantly, it will give you kind of a little help message to say, here's what this mode does, here's how it works, and you can also access that in help. So I'm going to
Start reading instantly. Button. Stop reading instantly. Illegally cited Jesse Anderson Technology and Game Accessibility Advocate, JSSENL, @gmail.com, www.illegally-cited.com, @BGFH79.
There was
Legally
one
cited
error,
Jesse Anderson. Stop reading instantly. Start
but
reading
that's
instantly.
not bad. And it was instant. So again, they really cranked up the speed on it. The performance was good. And I can understand the 1 being confused with an L. That happens on other apps as well. So that's not uncommon. And obviously that was running on the device because instant, you know, it was just instantly reading. Now, each one of these is also kind of a toggle. So I can, when I do it
Start
again,
reading instantly. Button. Stop illegally cited Jesse Anderson Technology
Notice
and Game Accessibility
that
Advocate,
it also
JSSENL,
glows.
@gmail.com,
So you can tell that the button is activated.
www.illegally-cited.com.
So I'm gonna shut
Stop
them up
reading.
there.
Start reading
So
instantly.
we're going to stop reading instantly. Go to the second one.
Read document. Button.
Read document. Now this one is going to guide me. So I'm going to, even though this is a landscape document, I'm going to try to do this big piece of paper that I've had on my desk that I forgot even what it is.
Read document.
We're going to
button.
find out.
Cancel scan document. Take photo. All edges visible. Hold steady.
Okay. Boom.
Processing. MN.
Okay, now on the bottom we have
Play button.
Play,
Export text button.
and export text,
Change font size button.
and change font size. So if I want to, let's do
Change
that.
font
Let's
size
change
button.
font size.
Change font size.
And
Change font. Export text button. 4%. Adjustable.
so it brings up a little
Swipe up or
slider.
down. 24, 30, 44%.
Let's say
54%.
44%. Boom. We got it.
Change font size
And a lot of this
button.
stuff acts as a toggle. So I'm going to say
Change font size
change
button.
font size.
Change
That'll
font
hide
size.
that interface. And now we'll hit
Play
play.
button. MN, you've got the ID card, but what now? When I talk to Minnows, then 2 simple tips to manage their healthcare each your Nate Lyons Member Services Representative. Tip 1,
Got
set
a
up or log
highlighter
on to your
there.
online account. Pause button.
There we go.
Play.
So yeah, got a nice little highlighter there, and it was pretty fast. You heard that kind of whooshing sound. I kind of like the little processing sound that they came up with.
Back button.
I don't know if this
Magnifier
one, the developers would have to chime in, leave a comment or something. I don't know if this mode goes up to the cloud. I don't know if you have to have a data connection for the document mode. It would be nice if that was also locally processed. It would be nice if the phone itself could process it. Because if it can process this, the short text, the read instantly, and you know, even Seeing AI is kind of guilty of that. And we know that it can be done because I've been using a lot of VoiceStream Scanner, and boy howdy does that work really well. If you haven't watched that video, go check that out and support that app as well. But yeah, I mean, the results seemed like they were good. It was pretty fast to process. And then we have
More actions button.
More actions.
Tap this alert. Read multiple pages button.
So we can do basically a batch scan, read multiple pages, and we can
Import PDF button.
import a PDF file
Import image button.
and import an image. I have done this, and it works perfectly fine. I've imported a screenshot, actually a couple of them, and it worked. I have not tried a PDF file. I don't think I have any saved on my phone, otherwise I would show you.
Cancel
But you can
button.
do that. So you're kind
Cancel
of getting
button.
a little bit of, you know, like I said, your sort of KNFB
Magnifier
reader-esque
button.
functionality, just like you would in, what is it called? VoiceStream Scanner and VoiceStream Reader. So there are reasons that you would want to use either one. You know, if you just want to quick recognize a PDF file, you might, or an image, you might want to use this. If you want to keep it and you just want to, like, you use VoiceStream Reader to recognize or to read all your books and a lot of your documents and stuff, you know, then yeah, you definitely would want to use the combination of Reader and Scanner, because boom, it just dumps it right into whatever folder you're in, and it works really slick. And I always say, especially when it comes to object recognition, text recognition, it's always a good idea to have multiple tools available, because you know, you scan a document and it might work better one way. It might work better in a certain app. You just never know, and that's definitely happened to me. So let's move on.
General tab 2 of 4.
General. Now,
Describe scene button. Describe scene button.
describe scene. So this is where now the 3 buttons have changed. We have describe
scene. Detect colors button.
detect colors,
Scan barcode button.
and scan a barcode. We're going to play with all 3 of these and see how well it does.
Describe scene button.
So describe scene, it seems like it's a pretty similar interface or similar processing to what Seeing AI does. It comes up with some weird stuff. Like I took a picture of an office plant that was kind of by a window, and it said like, I forget even what it said. It was like an office or a plant, and there was a part of a car that was sitting out, you know, out front of the window. And it was just a really weird sort of syntax where it was like a plant with a car on a something on a window, or I'm like, it was just really bizarre. Like it just doesn't understand the relationship between how things are organized or laid out, or, and to be fair, Seeing AI does that. And I think the one still that has impressed me the most, and I really wonder what different engine they're using, is that that Identify, IDENTIFI. Again, I've done a video for that. But let's try this. So I'm going to take a picture of this. Well,
Describe scene.
I'll tell you
button.
what it is after we find out what it thinks it is.
Describe scene. Button. Describe scene. Dimmed. Probably a bottle of water on a table.
Okay, sure. That was the primary object. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So, I'm almost positive it's not going to know what this is, but we're going to find out because I always like to trick these things. I always like to give it fun tasks that it goes, what the heck is this? I'm trying to see if I can get... Yeah, okay, well, we'll just... I'm sure it's not going to know
Describe
what this
scene.
is, but
Button.
let's do it.
Describe scene. Describe scene. Button. Describe scene. Dimmed.
Okay. It's going, what is...
It might be a desk with a computer mouse on a table.
See, that's the weird thing. Like, why would you have a desk a desk with a computer mouse on a table? Seeing AI does the exact same thing. A mouse with a computer desk on a table, or there's just it's only one or the it should only be one or the other, a desk or a table. And how can you have a desk on a table, on a mouse, on a house, on a this is some weird Dr. Seuss disaster. But again, that's an AI thing. They gotta it has to understand the relationship stuff better. But it's an Oculus Touch controller. Let's see, what could I give it that would... I mean, I guess
Describe
I could
scene.
just
Button. Describe scene.
take a picture of, I don't know, let's say maybe my recliner.
Describe scene. Button.
Back up a little
Describe scene. Button. Describe scene. Dimmed. It may be a person sleeping on a couch.
bit. No. Again, the scene stuff is kind of one of the things, like,
Describe
I don't
scene.
really
Button.
use
Describe
that in
scene.
any of the apps. So, I mean, like I said, Identify has come the closest, but there you go.
Detect colors. Button.
Detect colors. Now, when you do this for the first time, too, you can choose between, it's got like between 30 colors or I forget what it is, like 200 and some. I definitely went with the 30 because I don't know what the heck it would be. I wouldn't even know what probably less than half of those colors are. Let's do colors.
Detect colors. Button.
So when I turn it
Detect
on,
colors. Beige.
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 Well, it's a wooden brown,
Beige.
but okay.
Peach. Beige.
How about that?
Beige. Dark green.
It's black, but okay.
Dark green. Black.
There you go. So, again,
Black. Gray.
let's do the mouse pad.
Gray. Brown.
Yeah, it's a gray. It is definitely a gray.
Brown.
And this is why, like I said,
Detect colors. Button. Detect colors.
lighting is so subjective because you can make, like when I was in a bright room at work earlier, I was in a well-lit room, but depending on where I held the phone, my bright blue shirt, it could look gray, it could look like a grayish blue, it could look like a blue, a lighter blue, a darker blue. It all depends on the lighting, the shadows, all that kind of stuff. So, but overall, when I did, it did a pretty good job. It is a live view, so it'll just do it until you turn that feature off. But I had generally okay luck with it. I, did different things on my desk, my little different computer components. I just, my shirt, just all kinds of different things and seeing how it did. And what I often do with colors is I will kind of let it recognize the same thing a few different times and maybe see which one it thinks, like if it says blue 3 times and gray once, then maybe it's a possibility. I mean, not for sure, but it could be the possibility of that it's actually that color of an item. Kind of a law of averages, so to speak.
Scan barcode. Button.
Scan barcode. Here's where we
Scan
can have some
barcode.
fun.
Button. Scan barcode.
So we're going to scan a barcode. I don't know if this one has... Yeah. Okay.
This is not a valid barcode.
This is not a valid barcode, excuse me? I bought it at a Quick Trip yesterday. Come on. So you hear the did and then the ting, that means it's recognized it. Okay, let's try a different one. Now, interestingly, I tried a can of Coke and I tried a can of Mountain Dew. And it couldn't find either one of them. So, I don't know, Coke and Mountain Dew are a pretty common caffeinated beverage. And so it kind of stunned me that it didn't recognize that. I brought a few other objects over. This one I'll be surprised if it gets because it's a local item. But let's have fun and find out. Just so I can taunt you people. Come on. Oh, you're not going to recognize that at all? It's a barcode. Come on. Okay, let's turn it off and turn it back on again.
Scan barcode button. Scan barcode. Scan barcode button. Scan barcode.
No? Okay. No, okay. It's just not having it. That one's just not doing it at all. But for your information, there's a local company called Midwest Northern Nut. And they make these, they sell them in stores now too. You can order them online as well. But I got me some really yummy, really tasty chocolate covered pretzels. Yum. Good stuff. Had a couple of those before recording. Let's take a look at my Surface Pro, or my Surface Go box. I think there's a barcode on the back here somewhere. There's a, oh boy, there's a bunch of them. Let's,
10 inches. Microsoft Surface Go 10 Wi-Fi 64 gigabytes. Silver. JST00001.
there we go. Huzzah. Let there be barcodes. And yeah, before you let me know in the comments, yeah, guess what? I know my desk is messy. I know. Tell me something I don't know. Doing a whole bunch of stuff. So we got another, let's see. Got a barcode here. Okay.
Hamburger helper, hamburger helper.
Okay, that's good, but are you going to tell me what kind it is? Hamburger helper is great. It is, but the problem, it's not telling me, well, like, what kind is it? Is it... Huh. Okay, well, it just sees the same thing, so it's not giving me one. Because if you look at the box, lasagna. Got some lasagna here. So, you know, if I have a whole bunch of hamburger helpers, different kinds, kind of important that it would tell me. Let's go.
More information.
Now, they do have a more information here. Let's see what it gives me. So it kind of brings up just like a Google page. It's not like Seeing AI when you do a product. It actually brings up, you know, like package information, cooking instructions. I mean, it doesn't do it for all items, but it might give you nutrition information, cooking instructions, tracks on a CD. This just kind of pumps you out to like a Google search, and you might, like when I did a couple things at work and it said, oh, here's where you can buy this canned air. And then like reviews of it or something. So this is just a
tab,
straight
1 of 4,
up
videos, tab, 2 of 4, hamburger helper, heading, 1 of 4, 1, homemade hamburger, button, link.
Yeah, so see, it didn't tell me lasagna. It didn't tell me that variety. It just said hamburger helper. So that's...
Describe scene, button. Describe scene, button. Text, tab, 1 of 4, scan barcode, button.
Scan a barcode again.
Scan barcode.
I got one more item. Let's see. Got a big old thingy here. And I gotta rotate it because I'm not sure where it is.
Adam's peanut butter.
See, that's a problem too. It is Jif peanut butter. It is peanut butter, but it's Jif. I didn't even know there was an Adam's peanut butter. Is that a thing? Is that a brand that I just never
More
heard
information
of?
button. More information back button.
Let me see.
Adams Natural Crunchy Peanut Butter, 36 ounce size, 36 FL ounces sale. Adams Natural
Yeah,
Crunchy
that's
Peanut
not
Butter,
right at
36 ounce
all.
size, 36 FL ounces, $5.83. Describe scene button.
So, let me do it one more time. See, look at that. GIF. And yes, GIF is for peanut butter, GIF is for graphics. Yes, I have to put that jab in there for you people, because that's the correct way. Oh.
Scan barcode button. Scan barcode. Adams Peanut Butter, peanut butter.
Sorry, dude, you're wrong. It is not. It is so not Adams. It is a GIF. So,
Scan barcode button. Scan barcode.
the text portion is pretty good. The object recognition,
Describe scene button.
like the scene,
Detect colors button.
the colors,
Scan barcode button.
and the barcode, I'm going to go ahead and say your mileage may vary. I still think, having put it through quite a few paces in the last couple of days since I bought the app, I still think Seeing AI does a better job in these areas. But the app has improved, greatly since I last seen it too. So, it's only going to get better. Let's check out our last major tab.
Scan and find tab 3 of 4. Find persons
Scan
button.
and find.
Find persons button.
So find persons. So you have find person.
Find persons but find objects button.
Find object.
Teach Envision button.
And teach Envision. So I'm going to go to teach Envision first.
Open library.
So you have
teach a face button.
I can teach a face. So just like I could with Seeing AI, I can take this one wants 5 pictures of somebody, and then you can, find them in a room or, that kind of a thing. That's even what their little tooltip says, their help message when you first go to that mode. And then you have your library. So
teach Envision. Selected faces button.
Faces
objects button.
and objects.
Jesse.
And I have me in there right now. So that's the only one I've added.
Teach Envision.
And I don't
back
have
button.
any other people with me.
Selected. Open
so
library.
I can't just
back
point
button.
it at somebody else.
Back button.
But what
Find
I can
persons
do is
button.
I can try to point it at my ugly mug here. And oh, you know what I got to do?
Teach
Might
Envision.
help.
Find persons button.
Find person.
Finding
persons.
people.
Let's do that, okay?
Jesse,
So I think that was saying Jesse, but it was some weird, like, foreign voice. I have my speech set to Alex, and it was doing that at work, too. So I think Yehe, is supposed to be Jesse, I think. But I don't know.
Jesse,
Yeah, like,
Jesse?
why isn't that honoring...
Jesse,
It sounds like it's some
Yes,
other
sir?
language. Shut up.
Find persons button. Find
Turn
persons.
that off. It sounds like it's using, for this particular thing, it's using some other foreign voice, and it's not... It's not using the one that it does for text or objects or colors or anything like that. So that's maybe a bug that I found? Maybe? But you can teach it that.
Find objects button.
Now, find objects. I have not actually
Find object. Back
played
button.
with this. But what you can do is you can say that you want to find... It's got a list of things, and you can reorder them if you want to.
Bottle. Cup. Actions
So I can
available.
look for a bottle.
Bottle. Actions. Laptop. Bottle. Actions available. Cup. Bottle.
Bottle.
Laptop. Phone.
So
Actions.
yeah,
Laptop.
I've got a
Actions
bottle
available.
here.
Bottle.
Let's look
Actions
for a
available.
bottle.
Finding the
objects.
bottle.
So we're looking over by my CCTV. Ooh. Okay, so it vibrates. And it bings at you. Hey, I found my bottle. Yay! And if I go away, it's got nothing. So that's kind of cool, actually. So we're going to say stop.
Find objects button. Find objects.
But let's go
Find
back in there and I'll
objects
show you
button.
some other stuff
Find
you can
object. Back
recognize.
button. Bench. Action. Bus. Actions of phone. Actions
phone.
available.
Well, you know what? I do got a phone over
Phone.
here.
Actions available.
Now,
Phone.
I wonder if it means
Actions
like a cell
available.
phone, or let's find out. Let's look at my Android device.
Finding a phone.
I got my computer here. Hey, a little inception there. Whoa, that's pretty trippy. But if I look down, I'm thinking I'm betting that it's looking for like a regular phone, not a cell phone, you know, like an actual old school landline phone maybe, because that's my Android guy right there. Hey, wake up. How's it going? Is it dead? Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's dead. Cool. I got to charge it. So that didn't work.
Find objects. Button.
But that's
Find objects.
That's my fault, or it, you know. So you can find objects, you can find people, you can train it, and then you finally have help.
Tab. Help. Heading.
And this is where your help and your settings are.
Read tutorials. Button.
You got read tutorials. That's the thing that comes up the first time you enter all these modes.
Give feedback. Button.
Give feedback. There you go. You can email.
Request a call. Button.
Now this is kind of neat. You can actually request a call. I have not done that because I haven't really had a need to. But you can request a call from one of their staff.
Settings. Offline text recognition. Faster recognition option for languages based on Latin scripts. Switch button. On.
So that
Double
seems
tap
like
to
a
toggle
good
setting.
idea to use offline
Text recognition.
text recognition because that's going to be way faster and also more secure.
Automatic language detection. When turned off, Envision will read all text in the phone's system language only. Switch button. On. Double tap to toggle setting.
I could almost turn this off because I don't know any other languages anyway.
Off.
So it doesn't really matter if it tells me something's in Spanish or Portuguese or Japanese or whatever, because I'm not going to know what the heck it says anyway. So I just read English stuff. So to make that faster, I could just turn that off.
Speech button.
Now speech, you can adjust the speech rate, and you can use any of the voices that are installed on your phone. So again, I'm using Alex, except for that weird name thing that I showed you earlier.
Color detection button.
And color detection, this is where you choose between like 30 colors and...
Back button. Descriptive. 950.
No, oh, okay, I was wrong, not 200. 950 colors? I wouldn't even have a prayer. I wouldn't even begin to know. Lighter, lightish, kinda light bluish, red, something? I mean, wow, yeah.
Back button.
Not a chance.
Back button.
30 it is.
Color detection button. Account. Color detection. Account details button.
And there you have your account details.
Check subscriptions. Lifetime subscription button.
Check subscriptions. Lifetime subscription. So if you go in here, I'm not going to do it in case it shows my information, but throughout the rest of August, you can get major discounts on your monthly subscription, your yearly subscription, or remember when I said at the beginning of the video, this used to be a $200 lifetime subscription. They have made it, what is it, 75% off, something like that? I think I paid like, it was $38, and I think with tax and everything it ended up being like 42 or something like that. So, even just to support the developer, to keep up on updates, see what else they're working on. They had an excellent thread. They have a really good thread. If you go to appleviz.com, the developers were chiming in with kind of the reason they did this huge of a sale, the reason they're looking at doing things like this way, what their plans are for the future, and they're talking about integrating it with like some kind of smart glasses eventually that they're working on. So, there's potential here, and why not take advantage of it? I mean, like I said, support the developer, give yourself another tool in your toolkit, your toolbox. $38. Now, the other thing, I've mentioned this is on iPhone. This is also, more importantly, on Android. So there's also, in addition to some of the reasons that I talked about earlier, there's a few other reasons you might want this in addition to, let's say, something like Seeing AI or Voice Dream Scanner, because this supports a lot of languages, probably more than some of the other apps. There's, everything from like Chinese and Arabic and all kinds of stuff there. So it'll support a lot more languages. It will also work on Android and iPhone. Seeing AI is still not on Android. Voice Dream Reader is, but Scanner is not yet. And there are some OCR tools that I found a couple, and I don't know, they're okay, but I just, for the most part, I still like a lot of my iOS apps because I found some ones that work really well. So this app is available on Android. Now, again, this sale, if you have multiple devices, you have an Android phone and an iPad, or if you're crazy like me, have an Android tablet, an Android phone, an iPad, an iPhone, all this stuff. If you buy, let's say, a lifetime subscription for one of these things, you buy for iPhone like I did, iOS, you can get the Android version. They don't have it automated yet, but it's a cross-platform subscription. So if you get let's say a lifetime subscription, you pay the $38, the $42, $43 with tax. You can basically, there's an email address, and I'll try to remember to put the email address that you can contact in the description below. But you let them know what platform you bought it on. You bought it on Android, you bought it on iOS, and what email address you signed up for within the app. Because that's what you're going to link to. You got to sign up with an email, you give yourself a password, and then you're going to get a confirmation email just to verify that you're a real person and not one of those bots. So once you do that, you email them and say, hey, I bought it on Android, I bought it on iOS. And they'll take a look. And I haven't tried it on my Android device yet. Turns out I'm going to have to charge mine before I can try it. But yeah, so I emailed them and they said, yeah, okay, yeah, you got it. And they manually put me in the Android support as well. So I have Android and iOS access now. And they're looking at doing this as like an automated thing so you can have that as well in the future without having to email them. But for right now, it's a manual process. And they did explain that in that AppleViz thread as well, I think, a little bit. So definitely check out that thread. They have some really interesting comments. They probably have additional ones since I've even read the thread last. But, I feel better, especially on this sale. I feel a lot better about recommending it. And, again, why would I pay? I probably wouldn't pay a monthly or maybe a yearly subscription, but for like 75% off, I would just totally get the lifetime subscription, and then boom, you're done. You don't have to buy it again. And one of the reasons that they said they're doing that is because, hey, they're looking at offsetting a lot of the processing to your device, so they don't have to have their server space. They don't have to have users pinging their servers all the time with information requests. So the more you can offset onto a user's device, A, it's a little more secure, and B, it's just going to be a lot faster, and C, they're not going to have to, pay for all those, the data that's coming back and forth for that. So, again, check out the thread, but that is an updated look, a 2019 look at, August 2019 look at Envision AI. There's definitely some cool stuff here. There's some things that I still would love to see improved, especially with some of those general things, your objects and your barcodes and stuff. Some of that is still a little less than I would like. But the text stuff really works well. And they've got a good layout. They got a good, good base started here, and I think they've improved it since I last looked at it. So definitely, if you can, especially when it's on sale like this, support them. Check it out. Get it for Android. Get it for iOS. Especially if you are an Android user, go grab it, because then you have another iOS multi-tool. And like I said, while I have not tested it on Android just yet, I have a coworker that has told me that the Android version is actually, he's gotten a little bit better results on the Android platform than he has on iOS. So, maybe whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I've heard good things about the Android version. So whatever platform you have, go check it out. Envision AI. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Follow me on Twitter at BGFH79, mixer.com/BGFH, or illegally cited.com. Till next time, I'll chat with you guys again later.